What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another run here on American Truck Simulator Backhaul Edition. Starting off today with the Western Star 4800. The skin you have on here with this truck is the Blue Lagoon Metallic from Pauly. Not a whole lot of choices out there, but Pauly hits it out of the park on this one. Once again, he does some great work, and the lines on this one are nice, crisp, clean, and the paint looks great as well. So, if you guys have this truck, be sure to check out Pauly and this skin. The truck and the skin will be in the mods spreadsheet that I have, and that link is found in the description, so be sure to check that out. Second, you guys, if you haven't seen this one, you're probably going to love this. This is the Smith Co. side dump. It comes from Doggy Built or Dog Built. It's DOGEBILT. And it's been out since August 28th. This is the first time I'm hauling this thing, and it is awesome. It is 100% scratch built by him, and it also has advanced coupling as well as the landing gear animations. But there's one other thing that happens with this thing that he doesn't have in his description. And here's what it is. Ready? Here we go. That is so cool. The tarp actually closes on the load. That is freaking awesome. I love it. Love it. I don't think there's a load in this game that does that. So, yeah, major props to him on that one. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's get moving here. Now, this is one of my favorite places, as you guys know. Have had a lot of fun times at coastline mining locations like this one. And up the hill we go, 43,000 pounds on the back of the truck. Cummins N14, 525 horsepower underneath the hood. As always, the Eaton 13-speed shifter. The truck's doing well. All right, I think we're in business. Now there is one other option with this truck that I have activated, and I didn't last time. I originally thought it was just for like particles, dust, someone be kicked up by the truck. But when you turn on the animation options when you're picking out the options for this truck, you will see the mud flaps are moving. I did not notice that before. That was like I said, I thought it was just dirt, animation, particles, things like that, water, whatever, but it's actually the mud flaps. It might also include water, rain when you're driving into the rain and everything, but that is another nice little feature with this truck that I really am impressed with. I know not every truck has that. I've only seen the Pinga Edit W900 that has that has the moving mud flaps. The antennas on this do not move though. So, if you guys are looking forward to that, keep that in mind. Very good sound on this N14 on this truck, but I'm a little at odds with the sound inside the interior when it comes to using the engine brake, and we're going to use it right here around this corner. I could go either way on that one. I really could. Corey Weaver left a comment on the Sunday test drive. He was part author of the 4900 Western Star FA from Cyprus, and he mentioned that there were some extra parts coming. Drop axle for one of them. You know, still no ETA. I have seen photos of those items, so I don't know if they're just testing or if they're just holding back. But rest assured, those items are coming. He didn't go into full detail on everything, but from the photos I have seen, I know there is more to that truck than what we have right now in the Steam Workshop. So if you guys are interested in the Western Star and what it seems to be a very well put together truck, well put together mod, by all means download it, and you know, hopefully Sybaris and Corey continue to improve on it, and you know, before you know it, maybe we'll have ourselves another Volvo 670 on our hands. You know, the rank right up there with the two greats, the two heavy hitters that are on the workshop. Now, there is one other thing I have noticed with certain mods, and you know, it's not just the mods, it's the modders. You know, they're not the only ones that have held back stuff from their trucks. People have released trailers or skins, or even trucks, as well as other mods, and you know, they have kept some items out. You know, maybe they just didn't feel like it was going to go over well with the public. They didn't want to risk seeing it put on other vehicles or put in other mods. You know, the reasons behind why, you know, things get watered down or stripped down are many. And not everyone's going to agree with all of those reasons, but, you know, to each their own. That's fine. But, you know, it's one thing to worry about a mod, you know, becoming stripped and parts being sent out to other mods, being parted out. That's one thing. I mean, the 389 parts get used many times in other trucks. That's nothing new. But it's when, and I have seen just a handful, not too many, just a handful, and I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to call anyone out or anything, so I'm not going to start that kind of war, but I'm just going to give my kind of 2 cents in the optics of it all. But when modders, and it doesn't matter what the mod is, by the way, I've seen it for different mods, whether it's a truck, trailer, or something for the game. When modders sit there and say, well, we're not going to release such and such part or such and such item or such and such feature or whatever, because, you know, we don't like what we see with other, you know, example A, example B mod over here. You know, so we don't want to see our truck turn into that. One example would be, you know, with styling on the Peterbilt 389, for example. You know, the way I run my 389 on my Monday series is not what everyone would agree with. I've already seen multiple comments, not just on my videos, but on other videos as well as on Facebook groups or whatever, where people don't really agree with all the lights that I have, or they don't agree with the color, or the engine. You know, everyone's got their own preference. I've had people suggest I put more lights on, more chrome, you know, you name it. It's gone both ways. And so, I guess when a modder, regardless of what the item is, says, you know, I'm not going to release such and such item, or this item, or that item, because I don't want to see people bastardize their trucks, or bastardize the trailer, or bastardize, you know, like I said, I've seen it for multiple, I've seen it for multiple items. It's not just a truck, it's not just a trailer. I've seen it said for multiple things. It's kind of, to me, saying, well, you know, you're going to play the game with this truck how I want you to play the game. Oh, he did turn. Okay, I can stay here. You know, you're basically telling people how to play their game. based off of your tastes, your interests. And to me, that's just crossing the line, you know? People, that's the great thing about this game that people love, is they're able to take vehicles, and whether it came with the truck or if it's third party, like the LED light kick that I normally run on the 389, for example. You know, there are accessory packs out there for trucks, and so we are able to customize them to however we want them to look. And some might look gaudy, like for example the ETS trucks that I see all the time. I see photos of, and they got lights and headlights and flags and you name it all over the damn thing. To me, that's gaudy. I really find that distasteful. But in the eyes of the person that is driving that truck in that game, he loves it. He wouldn't change a thing. In fact, he might even add more. You know, so to each their own with that. But, you know, when someone says, you know, I'm not letting you have this because then I don't want my truck to look like that, you're kind of forcing people who might want to use that truck to play, you know, to change their style, their tastes to suit you. And I don't think that, me personally, that just ain't right. But like I said, to each their own, and you know, no one is forcing anyone to use that mod, whatever it might be, and we are hard on the brakes here. No one is forcing anyone to use that mod, you know, no one's forcing anyone to use that truck, that trailer, that map, whatever. But, I mean, that's just my 2 cents on it, my thought and my view on it. I know not everyone's going to agree. And if I get flamed for it, then so be it, that's fine too. Me personally, I normally don't make too many requests for people on things. Would I like to see this game look more like the real world? Yeah, I would. It is a simulator after all. You know, the same goes for anyone that plays the train sims, anyone that plays flight sims, and things like that. You know, of course they would love to see, you know, for example, an A10 Warthog. Alright, we got the A10, awesome. But it sounds like it's a BB gun. You fly the A10 Warthog because of the way the engine sounds. You fly the A10 Warthog because of the way the Gatling gun sounds. And if you guys have not heard an A10 Warthog fire its main gun, you need to pause this video and go look it up. That is a wicked force of nature right there, listening to that damn thing rip. But, you know, if something isn't right, then, you know, obviously people are not going to be pleased. People are not going to be happy. But, I mean, to me, there is nothing wrong with wanting or having the desire to have a game look, feel, and resemble, well, look and resemble are the same thing, but, you know, resemble real world. There isn't. Now, this setup I have right now kind of matches that. The paint, the truck, the trailer, especially the trailer. The trailer is just bang on. I don't know if there are animations to dump it. I mean, obviously, if the tarp rolling across when you hook up to it were not in the description, you know, the dumping feature was not either. But, you know, I love it. I love when I see trailers and mods like this that resemble the real world and what you can see on the highway. You know, it allows someone, like myself for instance, I posted a photo on one of my groups. I don't remember if it was Cascaman20 or on my Facebook page, Cascaman Gaming. And it was of a 379 custom stretch. It was probably over 300-inch wheelbase, or BBC, I think it is, and He had a split axle reefer trailer, all chrome, and you know, it was just a thing of beauty. And something like that, because of the truck options that we have for the 389, I can go ahead and recreate that. And that's what we love about this game and other games like this. We can recreate real world. We can take what we see and play it here. So, I mean, I guess my point is, it's kind of hard to do that when you have people that are restricting you from doing that because it doesn't go with what their taste is. In my opinion, if that is really a concern for the author, then it might have been a good idea to just not put it out in the first place. That's just my thought. Do I want to see people pull their mods off because they don't want to, you know, see something happen that they don't want to have happen? No, of course I don't. I really don't. But at the same time, it's kind of, you know, well, kind of suck it up, buttercup. Alright, where am I going? I have never delivered here before. I love jobs like this where you pull in and you're looking around, there's no one here to help you. And it's like, okay, and since I have the dispatcher mod, I have to look for the... Oh, wait. I have to look for the cones in one of those. Pay attention, driver. Oh, this is nice. This is a construction cone. That's got some turning radius on it too, holy crap. Now, with me saying, you know, authors restricting access to certain items, accessories, so on and so forth, it goes the other way too. There have been many authors that have made mods that have put stuff out there or included it with the mod that were just totally unrealistic. You know, the 2,000 horsepower engine mods, the T680 and 579 exhaust smoke mods. You know, no. No. I mean, that stuff, especially when I see people going gaga over stuff like that, I just kind of want to bang my head on the desk. Why? But, you know, then in, you know, instances like that, I can just remember, hey, that's maybe how the author of, you know, so-and-so mod felt when people were asking him to, you know, what just happened? I just snapped a photo. Oh, I think I'm on my SciTech side panel here, I mapped out the photo button on the joystick, and I think I tapped on that. Right next to the phone pole, too. Holy crap. There goes the mirror. And we are parked, though. Let me try it. Let me test it. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna have to change that. Otherwise, I'll be accidentally taking photos of myself left and right. So, time to park this thing, drop it off, and then go on to the next one. Alright guys, here is the next run here with the 4900 from Cerberus, and I'm hooked up to one of his trailers as well. This is the water tanker, and actually that's what I've got on today is actually water. Going to Caterpillar and Oxnard, leaving Barstow to John Deere. I'd be taking water from John Deere to Caterpillar, but hey, that's what they want, that's what they get. Now I've made a couple changes to this truck as well. Put the bumper guard on the front there. That guard comes with the option number 3 for the bumper. Changed up the rims, put the little flashy light up there. A little disappointed it's just one little beacon. I think at least an LED one probably would have been better, or the split LEDs that I've seen on the T800 would be a nice option as well. Also put the headache rack back there. Man, that thing's really chromed up too. Holy crap. But really nice looking. Man, that engine brake is really... Now, aside from the engine pack and how the engine sounds, this is still, you know, it's just as good of a truck as the RTA one. I don't want to give the impression that it's not. Although I think I might just end up turning that engine brake off. It really is a nice truck, and it's gotten a lot of popularity from people on a couple of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of, Murillo's Hangout for ATS, as well as American Mods Nation, and rightfully so. It is a nice truck. It is a nicely put together truck, and as I've mentioned on the last run, there will be other options coming out. Damn it, I forgot to put my seat back as well. But you know, I really look forward to that. I don't have an ETA on that. You guys will just kind of have to sit tight and keep an eye out for that. I do hope a GPS option is one of them, at least for something on the dash. I know a lot of guys like to drive without the navigation window here. You know, they want to close that out. So having a GPS screen, it would be nice. Now, I do have the 625 or 650 horsepower Detroit 60 series in here. No change in the sound. I didn't expect it to be, though. But the Detroit series, Detroit diesel, is what is normal for the Western Stars because they are a sister company to Freightliner. Yeah, let's slow it down a little bit. Now, Cerberus actually updated this water tanker pack a few days ago, and he did an oops. He put it out there, and he's like, "All right, guys, there you go, enjoy." And then all of a sudden, people started having issues, and he's like, "Oh crap, I forgot to add something." And he forgot to put the wheel def file in there, the DEF file. So he got that fixed, and he did a couple other changes as well, because I was having issues with it as well. I was getting red wheels, and that usually means there's a conflict. I don't know if he's fixed that or if me clearing out my mods list fixed it. I did a recent clearing and just had so much stuff built up that I was slow to deactivate. So took care of that, and everything's fine now. So if you guys happen to download this from the Steam Workshop, it is in my mods list, which is also once again found in the description, and you download this water tanker pack. Just keep in mind, if you do see red wheels, there's usually a mod conflict, and so you will have to remove one of your other trailer mod packs so you do not have red wheels anymore. Since it's going down, might as well put those on right now. Now, as I was looking at the credits, Doggy Built had his hand on this one too. He built the tanker part of this mod, so I don't know. I would really like to know what else he's got his hands in. What else is he responsible for? I mean, he did such a great job on that side dump. But when he doesn't have anything listed else, you know, as far as what he's uploaded to the workshop, so with as good of a job as he did on the tanker here, as well as that dump that I just used in the other clip, I'm sure he's got other pieces of work, and chances are they are still private. So hopefully they do not remain private for long, and he is willing to share them with the public for others to enjoy. Now this tanker here, though, to me, it isn't a normal tanker. Having worked at a company that uses exclusively, well, 98% tankers, this more or less looks like a vac tanker, and I will explain that here in a minute. Bring it back down under the speed limit. Okay, so we got the cruise set. See that tank right there in the hoses? That's usually the sign of a vac truck tanker. Same for that hatch on the back. Oh, I'm glad it's got good brakes, and that engine brake stopped my ass good. But yeah, that's usually the sign of what you'll see on a vac truck tanker. Now, there's no PTO on this truck or anything, so obviously that wouldn't work. But when I was working for an environmental company, that's usually a couple of pieces that were on our vac tankers. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be used as a regular tanker. It can, but I'm just, stating from what I have seen in my own experience. And I don't think oil made it into the cargo listing here. As he was working on it, I mentioned, hey, maybe used oil could be used as a cargo for it. Used oil is actually something that's transported quite often. In fact, what would be better for it is either this one or the milk tanker mod trailer pack that is out there. It's been out there for a very long time, actually, but that one could actually be changed over, because that can haul hot tar if it's... No, I don't think I've seen anything special with those trailers, so you could put hot tar in those. You could also use it for hauling used oil, contaminated water, oily water, just a couple of different cargo ideas for the different trailers. It's a whole new industry that a lot of people don't know about, so maybe in one of my future videos I will have to help educate you guys on the used oil industry. One thing I'm not totally up to date on what's going on within the industry, but one thing I do know is before, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, when you guys were getting charged a disposal fee, or maybe an EPA fee when you went to go change your oil, that Jiffy Lube or dealership or Quick Lube or whatever you guys went to was ripping you guys off. See, they make so little money on the stuff as it is. Oil changes, they lose money on. That's why they have to push you to buy things like air filters and wiper blades and light bulbs, because that's where they make their money. They don't make their money anymore on oil changes. If they did, an oil change would cost you like $80, $90. But back then, about 2 years ago, the truth behind it was companies were actually paying those locations for their oil. So they would store all that oil into a tank. It would be 500-gallon tank, 250-gallon tank, all the way up to it could be 1,000 or 2,000-gallon tank. It all varied on the location and how busy they were. But they would store all that, and then every couple of days, once a week, whatever, a driver will come along in a tanker, just like that one you guys saw back there turn off the highway, or in a tanker like this, and he will hook up to it and pull the oil out. Now, as a rough guess to how much oil he pulls out, but what he would do would turn around and write a check to the dealer, or to the oil change, the oil lube place, basically buying the used oil. So not only did they get anywhere from $3 to, I've heard as much as $10 for a disposal fee out of you for changing your oil, but they just got paid, you know, a couple $100 to maybe $1,000, depending on how much oil and the deal that they had, for selling off their used oil. Now, things have changed, and that's not the case anymore. They don't buy used oil. Now, because the oil prices have dropped so much for crude oil, it's gone back to where places are now paying the company to take it away. But if you guys see crude oil jump back up to, you know, $80, $90, $100 a barrel, that will change, and companies will go back to paying these places for their used oil. So, just a little tidbit. I mean, you guys can try to get in an argument and say, I'm not paying that, I know it's bullshit. I've tried it before. I went to a mobile quick lube place, and I told them, you know, they used a competitor of ours, and I said, I know you guys use this company over here, and I know they're paying you for your oil. I mean, what are you guys getting, 30 cents a gallon? And the guy just kind of played dumb, and I knew he was the manager, so he knew exactly what was going on, but he started playing dumb, and I was like, yeah, you can stop playing dumb with me, dude. I know exactly what's going on. And they wanted to charge me a $3 disposal fee. And then, oh, well, the EPA forces us to. No, they don't. The EPA doesn't do jack on that shit. Alright, let me turn that damn thing off. There we go, right over there. Let's get a good look at this truck and tail. You know, one beef I have is how chrome looks in the dark. I have very rarely seen any chrome look good in the dark, even in the light. I mean, this is a great looking trailer, don't get me wrong. I think that's probably more of an SCS thing, the way they did the game here. I don't know. Nice looking triple axle on this thing, though. Oh, my apologies. The skin. This is another one from Pauly. It's the Midnight skin. Midnight Black, I think it was. This, too, will be in my description for the spreadsheet. Last one was Pauly. This one is Pauly as well. Like I said, the Western Star doesn't get a lot of love just yet, but give it time, it probably will. If you guys out there show this truck more interest and actually ask the Skinners for it. So, start begging. No, don't beg. I don't want to be responsible for that. So, but that's going to be it for now, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I also want to give you guys a quick reminder. There is no ATS MP tonight. That is rescheduled to tomorrow, Thursday. So, don't tune into my channel expecting I'm going to be live, because you're going to get nothing. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, that's when I'll be on, Thursday. So, hopefully I see you guys there. Until then, thanks for watching. Take it easy.